Good morning, children. So today I'm going to start. In my last video I have completed direct election, indirect election, and election of the president and vice president of India. Now I'm going to do the next one, that is general election. Okay. Now, general election is the election which is held after the expiry of the normal tenure of 5 years. Is it clear? After, you know that in India the general elections are held after every 5 years. Once the party wins the government, then that particular party forms the government. That particular party remains in the government for 5 years. After the fulfillment of the complete tenure of 5 years, the election which is held is called general election. Okay. Now see, the election held to elect the members of Lok Sabha after expiry of the normal term of 5 years are called general election. Is it clear? General election is held for the members of Lok Sabha, and when Lok Sabha completed its full tenure of 5 years, then the election which is held is called general election. First thing. That is your general election. Next is midterm election. Midterm election means what? When the election is held before the completion of the normal tenure of 5 years. What is the normal tenure? 5 years. The election which is held for the members of the Lok Sabha before the complete tenure of 5 years. Suppose kisi government, some party has formed the government, and that party remains in the government for 2 years, and after 2 years that party loses the no confidence motion in the Lok Sabha. So once the party loses the confidence of motion in the Lok Sabha, then that government is going to be terminated and re-election is going to be held. So the election which is held before the completion or expiry of the normal tenure of Lok Sabha, that is 5 years, is called mid-term election. Then next is by-election. General election for complete number of member of Lok Sabha, that is 552. 2 is Anglo-Indian, so 550. Mid-term election is also for all the seats of Lok Sabha, but by-election is the election is held only for one or two constituencies. That is called by-election. Suppose any member of parliament has given resignation. Okay, then if he has given resignation, then his seat will get vacant. To fill that vacant seat, the election which is held for that particular constituency is called by-election. See, when a seat held by any member of Legislative Assembly or Lok Sabha get vacant due to the death of that member or due to the resignation of that member, then the election which is held is called by-election. Is it clear? Now all of you just see in the book and underline in the book what is general election, what is midterm election, and what is by-election. Just see in the book. Let me first tell you about general election. Underline. The election held to elect the members of Lok Sabha after expiry of the normal term of 5 years are called general election. This is your meaning. This is your meaning. Then, elections to some state legislative assembly may be held along with parliamentary election, either up to 1950. This is not needed. Only this much is needed. Then come to midterm election. This type of election is held when a state legislative assembly or the Lok Sabha is dissolved before the completion of its full term of 5 years. The new house will normally have a full term of 5 years term. This election is called midterm election. Till here. Only this much is needed. Okay. This is meaning. Then come to the by-election. Come to the by-election. See the by-election. What is by-election? When a seat held by any member of Legislative Assembly in the center or the state falls vacant on account of death, resignation of the member before completion of his or her term, to fill up his vacancy, the election which is held is called by-election. Then the person is so elected remains the member for the unexpired term of the house. Is it clear? From here till here. Is it clear? Is the midterm election. Now we have to start for election commission. We are going to start for election commission. Now see election commission and try to understand. As India is a democratic country, and India have democracy, and democracy elections plays a significant role. And India being the second largest democracy, first largest democracy of the world, the elections are always taken place in a grand scale. So to organize that election, to manage that election, to have the election smooth and without any corruption or illegal means, a commission is established specially to conduct election. That commission is called election commission. Election commission is the commission which is responsible to conduct election fair, free, without any illegal way. So I think you people have understood that why election commission. What is the role of election commission? Election commission role is to conduct free, fair elections in India. Is to conduct free and fair elections in India. That is the role of election commission. We are going to study about that election commission. Then further, you see, election is the best way by which representative of the people can be sent to legislature. India being a federal country makes provision for holding elections for the central and the state legislature. You know that India is a federal country. In India, in the center, we have a central government. In the state, we have a state government. So we have an election for Lok Sabha, for Rajya Sabha. We have an election for Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. So it is the responsibility of the election commission to hold or to conduct the election of these particular assemblies. Then, hence, election need to be free and fair with wide participation. Keeping in view the great impact and significance of the election, the Constitution has made detailed provision for the free and fair conduct of election in Part 15, Article 324 to 329. To have a free and fair conduct of elections in India, in our Constitution, Part number 15, Article number 324 to 329, there was a mention of Election Commission and responsibilities of the Election Commission. Come to the composition of the Election Commission. Under Election Commission, there are three important members. In Election Commission, how many members are there? Three. One, Chief Election Commissioner, and two, Election Commissioner. Is it clear to all of you? So that is the composition of election commission. Okay. Now all of you see in the book and underline. See election. From here you people have to underline. First paragraph. Election need to be free and fair with wide participation. Keeping in view the great impact and significance of the election, the Constitution has made detailed provision for the free and fair conduct of election in Part 15, Article 324 to 329. So, Election Commission. About Election Commission, where it is mentioned in our Constitution, Part 15, Article 324 to 329. It is very clearly mentioned in our election. Now come to the composition of Election Commission. Composition. Underline. Article 324, clauses 1 to 6 deals with the composition of the Election Commission and other related issues. This is number 1 point. So which article contains the composition of Election Commission? Article 324, clauses 1. Then, how many members are there? Second point from here. The Chief Election Commissioner stand at the top in the hierarchy of the election commission? The election commission consists of chief election commissioner and other election commissioners. Till here, is it clear? This is the second point. Now, the last second paragraph, nothing much is there. See the last paragraph. The chief election commissioner and the other commissioners are appointed by the President of India. This is something very important. Who appoint the chief election commissioner and commissioners of India? President of India. Now, this is done at the behest of Prime Minister as per Article 74. Then, the regional election commissioners are also appointed by President in consultation with the Election Commission. This whole paragraph is very important. So, under composition, first paragraph and the last paragraph is very important. Now, see. So, who appoint the chief election commissioner and election commissioner? Question may come. Who appoints? The President of India. So not only we have an election commission at the center, we have a regional election commissions also. And the members of the regional election commission are also appointed by the president, but in consultation with the election commissioners. Okay, now president elect the chief election commissioner and election commission in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister of India as per Article 74. Okay, so composition of election commission we have completed. Now, term of office and conditions of service we have to study. What is the term of office? For how long the election commission and tenure? What is the tenure of election commission? Okay, now see here. Under this you see the election commissioners are appointed for a term of 6 years. So what is the tenure of election commission? 6 years. During this tenure, if any election commissioner reach to the age of 65, that commissioner has to vacate his seat. Means a person can remain in the office of election commission as an election commissioner for the 6 years tenure, but not more than how many years? 65 years. Suppose anyone has made the election commissioner and his age is 64. So after 1 year he will complete his 65. So after 1 year he is going to vacate the seat and new election commissioner is going to be appointed. Second point. The salary of the chief election commissioner and other commissioners shall be equal to the salary of the judges of the Supreme Court. Then what is the third? That is the terms of condition. Then what is the third point? Any difference of opinion between chief election commissioner and other commissioners shall be decided in favor of majority of option. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो डिसीजन चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर लेगा वही डिसाइड होगा, फाइनल होगा, नहीं. 3 मेंबर्स हैं, तीनों की मेजॉरिटी ऑफ वोट होगी. जो जिस चीज पे 2 लोग अग्री करेंगे वही डिसीजन वैलिड होगा. सो देयर आर 3 पॉइंट्स on the terms of office and condition. First point, the election commission tenure is 6 years. Any election commissioner can remain in the election commission for 6 years, but not more than how many years? 65 years. Second point, the salary of the chief election commissioner and other commissioners are equal to the salary of the Supreme Court judges. Third point, in case of difference in opinion between the election commissioners, the majority vote exists. Is it clear? Now see all of you in the book and underline in the book. The first one. The Parliament of India passed an act in 1994 as laid down in Article 324, Clause 5. Article 324, Clause 5 of the Constitution. Okay, what is there under this? Underline. Under this act, the term of office and the condition of the service of the chief election commissioner and other commissioners were determined. So under which article the terms of office and condition of service is mentioned? Article 324, clause number 5. This much you people have to underline. Now see the 3 points. First point, they are appointed for a term of 6 years. During this tenure, if they attain the age of 65 years, they shall vacate office on the day of attaining this age. What is the second point? The salary of the Chief Election Commissioner and other commissions shall be equal to the salary of the Supreme Court judges. What is the third point? Any difference of opinion between the Chief Election Commissioner and other commissioner shall be decided in favor of what? Majority. Okay, so we have completed. What do you mean by election commission? What is the composition of election commission? What is the term of office and condition of office of election commission? Now we need to study about powers and functions of the election commission. Is it clear? Now see the first point, that is preparation of electoral rolls and photo identity card. Before that, one paragraph is given that you see in the book. The Election Commission has wide-ranging powers under the Representation of the People Amendment Act 1996. Underline Representation of the People Amendment Act 1996. Is it clear? Then the function of the Chief Election Commission with respect to the conduct of election to Parliament and to the legislature of every state and of elections in the office of President and Vice President are given below. Is it clear? So the functions are given below. Is it clear? See the first, number A function, that is preparation of electoral rolls and photo identity card. The Constitution provides for one general election roll for every traditional constituency of the Lok Sabha and state legislative. An electoral roll, what is an electoral roll? Underline. An electoral roll is a voters list containing the name, father name, age and sex of the voter. What is an electoral roll? An electoral roll is a voters list containing the name, father's name, age and sex of the voter. Then why these electoral rolls are used? Second point, these electoral rolls are updated from time to time to provide for new entrants and death as well as the changes. Second point, then the Constitution identify eligible voters in each constituency and prepares the list of all eligible voters, which is called voters list. So what do you mean by voters list? The list of eligible voters. What is voters list? The list of all eligible voters is called voters list. Okay, then in order to carry out these function, the photo identity card for every voter is issued. These prevents fraudulent voting by impersons. Now see all of in the book. The first powers and functions of the Election Commission. That is, Election Commission prepare electoral rolls and photo identity card. What is the first point? An electoral roll. What is an electoral roll? An electoral roll is a voter list containing the name, father's name, age and sex of the voter. Then these electoral rolls are updated from time to time. Election Commission update these electoral rolls. Then here, what is voters list? The list of all eligible voters. What is voter list? The list of all eligible voters is called voter list. Then, in order to carry out this function, the photo identity card for every voter is issued. Who issued? The Election Commission. This prevents fraudulent voting by impersonators. Is it clear? So the first power and function. Second power and function, you see, registration and recognition of political party. Okay. We know that in India, elections are held on party lines. So, the registration and recognition of political parties is also given by Election Commissioner. See, the Election Commission grants recognition to political party. The first point under this, then number C, allotment of symbols. Every party has a symbol. Who allot the symbol? The Election Commission. Underline, the Election Commission allots symbols to the recognized political parties and candidates for election. First, then, the commission may have some symbols as reserved and other as free. The Election Commission, on recognition of political party, allot it reserved common symbols. The political party uses the symbol for all candidates appointed by it. Then, who get unreserved? The independent candidates or non-registered political party can select a symbol of their choice on the first come first serve basis from the list of free symbols. Till here, is it clear? Now try to understand this particular point. The first power and function of Election Commission is the preparation of electoral rolls and photo identity card. The second power, that it gives registration and recognition to political party. The third power is the allotment of symbol. The Election Commission allot or provide symbols to all the registered political party. It provides two types of symbol. One is reserved symbol, one is free symbol. Reserved symbol is given to the recognized political parties, and every candidate of that particular party uses that registered symbol. But free symbols are given to unregistered political parties or independent candidate. Is it clear? So that is the third power and function of the Election Commission. So under powers and functions, I have completed 3 powers and functions. Tomorrow, I am going to complete this chapter and I am going to give you the question answers of this particular chapter. For today, this much. Thank you, children.